Hello everybody and welcome to a New Year's economics lesson. I decided to rename my lectures Freonomics as I didn't realise Bogonomics has already been taken, and I don't want to step on any toes, but I will go by the book. It's a great name. Today's dilemma: what do you do in small business when the Minister for Competitiveness is not on your side? Our Minister for Trade, Craig Emerson of Skyhook's fame, wrote an article for The Australian on the 29th of December entitled "The Cassandras of Retail Need to See the Big Picture." Unbelievable. Like, really, honestly unbelievable. Not only is this guy sitting on his hands policy-wise, but he's actively lobbying against the Australian retail industry. For those of you not familiar with Greek mythology, Cassandra of Troy was a beautiful princess whom Apollo granted the gift of prophecy. The darker side of this was that when she refused his advances, he placed a curse on her that her predictions would not be believed. It was a curse that eventually drove her insane. Well, Mr. Emerson, you could not have chosen a more perfect metaphor, because getting done Greek style is exactly what is happening to us small retailers. You and Jenny Mac, don't look now, but King John Mill wants his publicist back. Your push here is you can't believe that business groups are hurting themselves by harping on about bad news. To quote yourself, business organisations need to be careful not to talk themselves and their customers into an economic slowdown. Listen, Andronicus, we small retailers are not talking about predictions here. Your lack of policy decision has created a new category of the working poor, small retailers and their few remaining staff. For all your spin and big picture, I don't know what, this is the reality on the shop floor. And I'm sure you ain't never been on a shop floor. Let's say the tie you were wearing. Let's say it's $1,000 tie. Maybe an AOP special edition tie. Maybe paid for by the Australian public. Scrub that bit. Okay, you buy from overseas, it's $1,000. That $1,000 is shared by the tie maker and the retailer. You buy it from Australia, it's $1,000 plus duty, 10%, $100 plus importing charges, $55. Then GST on all of that comes in at $1,270. No predictions needed here, Hercules. That's an extra $270 in anyone's language, even Greek. Now, keep with me if you can, Craig. It's very easy to extrapolate this $270 27% discrepancy into the big picture. The big picture for small retailers. In times past, a small retailer would turn over, say, $1 million. Out of that, if he's pretty smart, he may make 10%. That's 100 grand. That's his salary. Same as most small businessmen in Australia. Whether you're a retailer or a tradie, you charge yourself out, add up all your bills, in the end, that's your salary. Now, if you're a little retailer, you now have to compete on a worldwide scale. That's the new paradigm. So if you, sir, increase his cost by as little as 5% compared to the overseas competition, his 100 grand salary will become 50 grand. And I'm only talking 5%. It's half of what the GST is. And very simply, you have created the new working poor. Simple, easy, and please do not talk about Jerry Harvey. He's in a different world to most small retailers. Now, Mr. Emerson, and I'm sure you are a fabulous union man, okay? Let's go with your message of turning on its head the notion of bad news. No one more glass half full than your average small Australian retailer. With all these technological changes, it should be an exciting time to be a retailer. Trade barriers are being ripped down. The criminal lack of retailing space is being made irrelevant. But, Emerson, Australian retailers are being sidelined by your crazy decision to keep subsidising the overseas shops. Let me remind you that being a minister is a leadership position. That word again, leadership. Leadership, not parasite. Not following, not being dragged, kicking and screaming, not lobbying for the opposition, unless you are getting a backhander from Amazon. It's about insight and leadership. That's your job. Now back to your article, sir. If you want to draw long bows and confuse everybody by linking all types of retail together, lumping food in with non-necessities and taking selective quotes, then allow me the same courtesy. You know this NDIS, the Unfunded National Disability Insurance Scheme. Well, we all know somebody that has a disabled child. We all want to live in a society that can afford something like this. It's the ultimate in civilization. But do you know who pays for it? Not you. Not the parasites that sit at Parliament House. It's us, the traders, the dimwits that employ the workers and try and make something out of this abortion that you call trade policy. So please, don't feed us this spin that business should stop complaining about dumb policy. We know we shouldn't have to, but for the sake of the gods, don't sell us these pie-in-the-sky pipe dreams at the same time as actively lobbying against the slaves that have to pay for them. That's a wrap. Good work on the side of me, Craig.